We are told now the National Guard is on the way.
The fire reports are coming in something like 1 a minute.
The worst of it lasted for 48 hours. Arson, looting, assault. The Los Angeles riot of last April destroyed buildings, businesses, human dignity, and lives. But the misery isn't over. Services are reduced, unemployment is up, and the vultures are circling. Even while resources to rebuild remain scarce, come-on ads for easy money are everywhere.
Even with the equity we have in our home, the bank turned us down.
Now is the time. Easy financing available. 1-800-23...
This is regarding financing on your home. Give me a call. I'm in the
Yes,
office.
there's easy money for the asking in South Central Los Angeles. All you have to be is a homeowner looking for a loan. Some of it is available from honest lenders who'll treat you right. But too often the easy money comes from dishonest lenders who will steal you blind.
I mean, this is America. Could you believe you can lose your home?
Robert Youngdahl is a deputy district attorney specializing in real estate fraud cases in Los Angeles County.
There is equity nowadays in everybody's home. You know, you can have bought the home for $15,000 or $18,000, and it's a $200,000 home now. So with this kind of equity, the sharks are in, and they're going to catch you wherever they can and however they can.
The riots may have whetted the sharks' appetite, but Youngdahl says they've been swimming in South Central Los Angeles for years. What did this room used to be before it was a shambles like this?
This used to be my bedroom. This was my closet. Well, it was a double closet. It was a walk-in closet where the children had one side and I had one side.
Last year, 46-year-old Betty Young, mother of 7, wanted to borrow some money to do a little remodeling and consolidate 2 existing mortgages. She got more than she bargained for. A church friend recommended this man, Tim Barnett, Chief Executive Officer of Funding 21 Mortgage Corporation. Barnett, in turn, brought Mrs. Young to this man, Barry Malcolm, President of Realty 2000 Mortgage Corporation. What Betty Young didn't know was that she was about to fall victim to a home equity fraud scam. Here's how it works. Home equity is the value of your home minus what you still owe on your mortgage. In Betty Young's case, her home was worth $150,000. Before she was scammed, she owed $75,000 on 2 home loans. That left her with $75,000 in equity. And stealing it only required Mrs. Young's signature on a deed of trust where the fine print, not the verbal promises, controls. The deed is recorded at the county recorder's office. No one there examines it. And when homeowners like Betty Young default on the loan and the mortgage holder forecloses,
Marshal, open the door. We have a court order for your eviction.
county marshals will enforce an automatic court order for eviction. In Betty Young's case, Tim Barnett sold her on signing up with Malcolm for a $65,000 refinancing and remodeling loan. But she received only about $6,000 in cash. Some of Mrs. Young's existing indebtedness was paid off, but Malcolm took a whopping $9,750 commission from the proceeds, and Barnett took $10,000. He said, to pay for remodeling work. May I just suggest to you that this wasn't a remodeling crew, this was a wrecking crew.
Well, be that as it may, this is what I have, and this is what I'm left with.
But the scam was just beginning. Why was Betty Young's home gutted? Because forcing her out of her home would make it more likely that she would default on the loan. Then Malcolm would have a claim on the house. And this, of course, was part of the wall.
Yes, that was part of the wall.
You see, today, Betty Young has to pay $1,100 a month rent to live elsewhere, on top of paying $866 a month interest on the loan. And she's trying to do that on her monthly take-home pay of about $900.
I cry at night. I cry because I can't do for my kids the things that need to be done. The lights and the gas, we're always running in the red. Actually, we robbed Peter to pay Paul.
We can give you a gross loan of at least $70,000.
We caught up with Barry Malcolm, the man who gave Mrs. Young the loan she can't repay and who has ripped off many others in the L.A. area. 6 days earlier, Malcolm had been arrested and booked on false advertising charges, accused of improperly soliciting riot relief funds from Good Samaritans. Now, out on bail, he was back to his old tricks of trying to broker home loans, despite the lack of a license as required by California law. We confronted him about his activities.
Okay.
Hey, Malcolm.
All right.
I'm
That'll
Sam
work.
Donaldson of Primetime Live.
Can you believe this? What is this regarding?
Well, do you have
All right,
a
sir, have a
broker's
nice-
license for broker loan? It's our understanding you don't have a broker's license.
How you doing? It's
Mr.
nice
Malcolm.
to know you.
Very
Let me
good to
shake
see
your
you.
hand. Let me shake your hand.
Very good
sir.
to see you. But we think you're scamming these people
No.
and taking their home equity.
I'm not scamming anyone.
We asked Malcolm about the $10,000 fee he charged Betty Young. Your company didn't get $10,000 for brokering the
No, our
$65,000
company did not
loan?
get $10,000. I mean, think about what you're saying. It's a $65,000 loan. Where do you justify $10,000?
Well, that's the question I have
Do
for
you
you.
have documents?
You bet. There are documents. The mortgage loan disclosure form for Betty Young shows that Barry Malcolm's firm received a commission of $9,750 plus inflated closing fees that brought his take well over $10,000. But that wasn't the only untruth Malcolm told us. Do you know Earlene Hanna on
No.
66th Street?
No.
You've never met her?
Who?
Earlene Hanna. She's 73 years of age. She lives on 66th Street.
No, I've never met her.
Never seen her.
No, I couldn't recall if I have or
Didn't try to
haven't.
broker a loan with her.
You haven't seen me trying to broker a loan with anyone.
Oh, yeah? There you see Barry Malcolm, and the woman he's talking to is Earlene Hanna, shot by our hidden cameras 1 month earlier. And what is he saying to Mrs. Hanna?
We're equity lenders, so we don't have to qualify you based on your income and your credit and things like that.
By anyone's definition, including the laws, that is attempting to broker a loan. Malcolm left us wanting to know who had caught up with him.
And what channel do you represent?
We're with Primetime Live, sir. It's on ABC. It is a horrible crime to happen to anyone, having your home stolen right out from underneath you. But here in South Central Los Angeles, victims of home equity fraud are not just anyone. According to a study prepared for the state of California, they are predominantly black, elderly women who have no other resources. Victims like the woman who lives here, 89-year-old Georgia Allen.
One of the things, they were supposed to paint all of the woodwork throughout the outside woodwork throughout the whole house, two-story place.
I don't think this has been painted in 30 years. Bill Flanagan is the attorney for Mrs. Allen.
The other thing they did was they put texture coat on the entire place.
This pink stuff.
Yes. They did this probably about 12 months ago, and the quality of it is really, really questionable.
Look here, it is peeling off. I mean, this is what they did a year ago?
Yes, Sam.
Mrs. Allen paid money for this?
$75,000.
You are Mr. Azule? Yes. Okay, hold on.
It was this man, Doran Azuli, of National Remodelers Incorporated, who took Georgia Allen. What Azuli did was con her into making him a joint owner of her home by telling her that was the only way she could get the loan. Then he obtained a $143,000 loan, which paid off some of Georgia Allen's debts, but also paid Azuli the unbelievable amount of $75,000 for the shoddy repair work. Now Mrs. Allen is in danger of losing her home.
There's two documents that we got from the lender. One says that Azule is her cousin. The second one says Azule is her grandson.
Is he related to her?
No, not at all. The signature that appears on there, in our opinion, is forged.
What would be the advantage to Azuli in passing himself off as her grandson?
If the two borrowers are related, there's less paperwork. That's what the lender told us. So by creating this relationship, it helped to move the loan quicker.
Georgia Allen was so ashamed of being conned by Doran Azuli that she refused even to let us have a picture of her. But Mrs. Allen need not be ashamed. For over the last 3 months, Primetime has found many victims of home equity fraud.
How can I help you this nice day today?
Our undercover cameras caught Doran Azuli as he worked his version of a home equity scam.
And I also very knowledgeable about financing situation.
We made 73-year-old Earlene Hanna, whom you saw earlier, a consultant to ABC News and asked her to inquire about painting her home. Azuli offers a price of $3,800, more than twice what experts tell us it should cost. And he offers financing.
The interest is 19.5. There is a interest. You see, you borrow money, you need to pay interest, okay?
19.5% interest is at least twice what any major bank would charge for a home improvement loan. But listen as Azuli baldly claims it actually adds up to only 10%.
How much is the interest?
19.5. It's about 10% a year.
And what if our homeowner misses a payment on the loan? No problem, says Azuli.
If you miss one payment, never mind, nothing happened, you see? This is excellent for you.
Contrary to what Azuli has just said, something can happen. On the third page of the contract, it clearly states that if even one payment is missed, the home could be sold. Azuli keeps that page out of sight.
3 weeks, you will see foundation, stucco, roofing complete.
Later, at another of our undercover locations, we watched Azuli fill out a form he told our homeowner consultant was merely a job order for the construction of a new garage.
What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to fill up the order, cash order for the work.
We copied this so-called order form and found it was actually a deed of trust that, once signed, would have given Azuli a claim on the house's equity. It was time to ask Doron Azuli some questions. I'm Sam Donaldson of Primetime Live. How are you?
Okay, how are you?
We were listening to you talk to Mr. Jackson.
Yeah.
And you told him this was an order form, but it does appear to be a deed of trust, isn't it?
It's an order form, but it say here that in case that you don't pay, you see, what we do here.
Yes, I understand, but this is a deed of trust. If he signs this form,
Okay.
you now can take possession of his house.
Not right now. You see, only after I do the job and after the finance will be approved.
When Azuli spotted the cameras, his mood changed. And when we asked him about the woman he claimed as a grandmother, he ran. Do you know Georgia Allen?
No.
Well, you filed a document saying you were her grandson.
Sorry, have a lawyer? Speak to my lawyer.
You said you were her cousin. Are you related to Georgia Allen?
Never, I said it.
Well, we have the document. You took $75,000 from her.
Speak to my lawyer, he knows everything. It's not correct.
Scammers like Barry Malcolm and Doron Azuli know that Los Angeles County law enforcement has other things on its mind than home equity fraud. As a matter of fact, both the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office and the California Department of Real Estate have done little to chase these con artists. Deputy District Attorney Robert Youngdahl's reluctance to move aggressively was evident when we asked if he would prosecute unlicensed mortgage brokers.
We certainly will refer it to the proper agency.
Well, you are the proper agency,
No, we're not.
I think.
We are not police officers.
Well, I'm going to read to you from a book which says it's the regulations of the state of California. It is the duty of the district attorney of each county in this state to prosecute all violations of this section.
That's right.
Well, it's your job.
That's exactly right.
Well, why aren't you doing it?
Well, did you ask the Department of Real Estate to bring the case over to us?
Well, we've turned over a number of cases to authorities, and I can't tell you specifically in Los Angeles.
Clark Wallace is the California Commissioner of Real Estate. He says his department will receive about 10,000 complaints this year. And what will happen to them?
We cannot respond as quickly as we need to respond. And of course, justice delayed is justice denied.
I mean, one less minority loses a house. I mean, who's going to care?
Carlton Jenkins is the managing director of the only black-owned bank in the state of California, Founders National Bank, located directly in south central Los Angeles. Jenkins says other banks who refuse to lend in this area are driving homeowners into the arms of the scam artists. Would you loan money on their house?
98% of the lending that we do is in communities just like this. We have found it to be viable, profitable. I mean, I grew up in this house. I would lend money on this house tomorrow.
Sit. Right. Say it fast. Sit.
But not even Jenkins can help Betty Young, who's struggling to hang on. She's taken on a second job and hopes she can make some repairs before Los Angeles County moves to demolish her home on the grounds that it is now a health hazard. Incredibly, even if her home is bulldozed, Betty Young will still owe $65,000 on the home equity loan that she was conned into signing.